This we will discuss the WLAN security again. So for this time, we have the four parts, and the third part is an overview of this WLAN security, and then is the additional measures to make AAA secure. Later we explain what is the AAA. And the third one is the WIPs, and the fourth one is the security big data analysis. For this WLAN security, first thing we need to understand the origin of this wireless security standard 802.11i protocol. Later we have a brief introduction about 802.11i protocol. Actually, this protocol, we use it almost every day. Maybe we just don't know its name. Later we introduce, you will know what is the 802.11i. But how it works is still lots of things to discuss. And the second part is the network security principles, right? And for this, like how we do this network security, we use the authentication, key management, encryption, decryption, and also the other concepts like the protocols. And so this we will introduce the security defense in the wireless LAN. And also third part, we will introduce Sundray's security features based on the threats that we faced in this wireless network. So first one, what is the 802.11i? Actually, the 802.11i, this is the we usually call it the full name is the IEEE 802.1 2004. So this is this one is be released in the year 2004. So for this protocol, it's a very important enhancement to the 802.11 standards. So for this one, it specified the usage of CCMP. For the CCMP, maybe you haven't heard what is CCMP. CCMP is a very basic protocol. This protocol is rely on these advanced encryption standards and the TKIP. So AES and the TKIP. So you can say that with the 802.11i, this protocol, our Wi-Fi started to use the AES and TKIP to do the data encryption. Before the 802.11i, we used the WEP for the data encryption. The WEP is not secure enough. And you can see that AES and TKIP, this data encryption usually be used and also required in the 802.1x authentication. We call it the WP2 enterprise authentication or the PSK authentication. So this decryption is from the CWNA10, this book. So if you want to get more information about this protocol, so you can because this protocol introduced how the communication be finished through this the phones, terminals, and the the wireless device. So this is a long IT course you can learn from here. But from this page, you know that what is the 802.11i, because in a lot of like in some uh, bidding project, they need to do the bidding, and they need the devices to support 802.11i, and we don't know if our devices support the 802.11i, right? So 11, we support this one. So the AES, TKIP, 802X, PSK also all need for the 802.11i. So 802.11i bring these protocols to our network. Okay, so let's move on. For this wireless network, we face lots of the security issues, like the network, for the wireless network compared with the wired network is the open, right? Easily can be connected. That's mean it can be easy to be hacked, and also the mobility. The users need to move from one place to another place, and also dynamic. The users always change, so the border of the wireless network is hard to control, and also the signal is stable. So in short, for the authentication, encryption, management are the main task of the wireless network security. Authentication and the encryption, we did that for the encryptions mainly be done by the 802.11i, right? As long as you use that standard, actually the data is be encrypted. For the authentication, we learned many ways to do the authentication. The most security one, the enterprise level authentication, and the security strength of the wireless network is unauthorized access and network intrusion, and the MAC address spoofing, disguise, and eavesdropping via the wireless link. These are the threats, security threats for the wireless network. So in short, wireless threats are mainly unauthorized access, information leakage, and information integrity, destruction, and deception. So the requirement of the wireless networks security is that we need to have authorized access. We need to make sure the information transfer is complete, right? And also we have the security management to ensure the sender's information is sent undeniably. And also the security defense, we need to have the WIPs, we need to control the user's access. So how the Sundray achieve the WLAN security? This is the 5 ways. Like before the authentication, we use before the user connect our network, we use the authentication and the encryption. The encryption like the 802.11i, and also the protocol use the TKIP, AES, CCMP. This is all come from this 802.11i. Authentication and encryption. And then is the access control. Third one is audit and WIPs and security data, big data analysis. Here, I think from this table you can really understand how we can do this and do it. Security authentication. We actually the before that the authentication, access control, audit, we can choose this one like the authentication. Authentication, we can check that who are you, right? That actually this is the 3A. The 3A is like a network frame. It's not like a specified protocol. The readers, we know the readers support the 3A, and also the the tasks. And also for our controllers design, it's also based on this it, uh, process. Like first we do the authentication. We asking who are you, and then it's the authorization. The authorization is like what can you do? We can what kind of service, what kind of application, bandwidth, time, quota, data quota. This is authorization. After you finish authentication, we give this permissions. And then accounting. Accounting is what did you do with our network? It is a controlling. You can do the controlling, monitoring, statistically, and also the billing. For our controller, you can do the monitoring statistics, but for this billing, um, actually our controller support the standard readers server. We know that standard reader server have the support that one 80 13. For that part we do the billing. So if our control, but for the billing, actually why we equally that part of our controller, actually when we do the billing we need to do the combine with which count which the back, right? The back accounts, maybe your like the the PayPal, this kind of applications. Lots of things need to do by a billing system. So that's why it's not included in our controller. But if the client want to do the billing, so our controller can do the integrated with the billing softwares. They're if they are based on the readers. Actually, the readers is a universal, is widely used for the billing system. To accounting and the whips. For whips, we just use the prevent attacks like from the ROG AP, from TCP snow spoofing, ARP spoofing, DOS attack, denial of service, scanning, provisions. So this is the whips. Later we think the configuration of the whips and also the security big data analysis like the account security. If this account is still active, the account is how many times used, how many devices used. This we can have the monitor. This is why no need to do the configuration, but we will monitor all the accounts security. And also traffic security. We will control the traffic from this one SSID to another SSID. So this also the can achieve security. And then is the device security. We monitor the devices in our network, all the APs, controllers, if they are working properly, the CPU, all this. Later we see the result. So for the AAA, actually, we already discussed the authentication in SCWA, and authorization is access control, right? For the access control, we can buy the three policies, and also like we do the flow control. The flow control could also based on a rule that also be considered a part of the authorization. We give their assured bandwidth, guaranteed bandwidth, or limited bandwidth for applications. This is authorization. For the accounting, it's like equal to the audit and statistics. For this one, after new link, because we haven't discussed too much about audit, so in afternoon we will introduce this audit. So what I'm gonna discuss is just additional measures, other measures we can make this process more secure. Third one is a wireless intrusion prevention system. We will how we do the IT phishes, how we do the DOS attack, how we approve a DOS attack, how we approve the scanning attack, this kind of configurations. And the last one is how we can do the east to west securities and monitor the accounts and monitor the devices. So this one I think you're in, yeah, this one is the endpoints authentication. For the authentication, we can identify the type of these terminals. And then based on these terminals, we can just, for example, for guest wireless, we can only launch the mobile phone and the pad to access. If this laptop, we're not allowed because you're a guest, usually you shouldn't, you just use your phone. For example, in some public Wi-Fi, just allow the phones. Usually the phones did not use easy to use for the tag. And the rule assignment can be the rules can be set according to the access point location, terminal, localized users, AD attributes, and the radius attribute. This one, why are emphasize this one? Because these features may be ignored. This rule, or the rule for the one SSID, we can just the one SSID. For example, for the office, for the staff, we can cite other rules also based on the terminal type, like the staff's phone. We have the one rule. Staff's laptop, we have another rule, and also like others like local user. And also if the client they use the VDR servers or AD servers, we can use the attributes value. Based on that attribute value, we assign the different rules. And also for the to make our network secure while in the closing time, we can configure these automatically regular turn off and or on for our wireless network. For example, we create this wireless network, and then in RF general is the API configuration RF general. Here you can configure RF control policy. So here you can bind with a schedule for this time, for this particular time, this SSID will be enabled. You can during the office hours, it have the SSID, but in the close time, it will be turned off. The SSID will gone. So in this situation, it can prevent the customer from being attacked in the closing time. So it can improve the security of the wireless network. Now let's see the VIPs. So for the VIPs, so what is the VIPs? This is from the Wikipedia. So the VIPs in computing is the network devices that monitor the radio spectrum for the presence of authorized access points, intrusion detection, and it can automatically take countermeasures. So this is the intrusion prevention. So we can say that the VIPs, it have the two parts. First one is intrusion detection. You can find out the intrusions, the tags from other APs, wireless devices. After you detect this intrusion, you can take the countermeasures. So this we call the intrusion prevention. So the following type of threat can be prevented by a good VIPs, like the rogue APs, misconfigured APs, client misassociation, a maze middle attack, AD hoc network, max spoofing, denial of service, honeypot evil tweet attacks. So this is the description of the Wikipedia. So right now we have to understand what is the VIPs. VIPs is the find out the detection and do the prevention. The detection is like rogue AP and DOS attack and AD hoax and spoofing, this kind of the things. So how the Sundray to stop this kind of these attacks. IT fishes, right? We need to find out these APs. So for the anti-phish AP, we can use to prevent the informations be stolen, right? Because if we connect to a rogue AP, all our data is sent to the rogue AP, the attacker will capture all our package. Then some information will be stolen. And also for this anti-phishing function, we also can find out the AD hoax, the hotspot. We can find the hotspot. The hotspot usually bring the issues to this network, because if the one employee have a hotspot, then with other this hotspot, they will connect several devices. But these several devices cannot be controlled by the policy in the enterprise's access control policy, because all the IP address be translated to this hotspot. So with this one, we can avoid uncontrollable employees' online behavior. So how does this anti-phish, how Sundray's anti-phish works? How Sundray's anti-phish works? It's like our controller, our APs, we're working in a protection mode. So for this one, later we will see that our AP have the three modes, like hybrid mode, monitor mode, and normal mode. So for example, in the monitor mode, our AP will implement periodic radio frequency protection task. How we do the task? How we do the task? We just scanning this radio spectrum. You keep scanning the wireless spectrum. So we find out if there has the rogue AP. If there has the rogue AP and some stations or terminals already building up the connection to these rogue APs. So our controller, our AP will set out this the authentication frame to the rogue AP or the terminals. So the process of this RF protection, or can call it the anti-phish action, is like, first, the AP collects the SSID or BSSID information in the environment. Yeah, they keep doing this information. And then this information always be sent to the controller, and the controller and match these rules, because we configure the rules. If we match that all this SSID should be blocked, then our controller, then this policy we will set to the AP. Then the AP will conduct these policies. So for our AP that's be managed by the controller, it can be work in the three mode. Normal mode, it's only forwarded the service data. Just usually when we set up a network, if we don't configure this anti-fishy works, we don't enable this function. The AP is working in the normal mode. So in the normal mode, the AP only forward the service data. The users connect the phone to watch the YouTube, only can do this. And then it's the hyper mode. In the hyper mode, the AP can do the service data. At the same time, it can do the scanning these the working channels. And again, not only the working channel or the operation channels, we can scan several channels like the channel 1 to 1611 or 3813, and it's configurable. So after scanning this, after the fight after the detect some rogue APs, they will do the countermeasures. They will take the countermeasures. So in the hybrid mode, these also can do the countermeasures. And the monitoring mode, the monitor mode is like the AP specified for the active phishing. For this AP, it cannot state the SSID. It cannot state its SSID. So it doesn't forward the service data. It just keep doing the channel scanning, the spectral scanning, and then if they find that rogue APs, we will take the countermeasures. So now let's see how we do the configuration. For the configuration, first step is to enable this AP's anti-phishing function. It's in the traffic, in the edge security, network edge security. Here we go to the traffic security. In the traffic security, there's the traffic hijacking. In the traffic hijacking here, we can choose the APs. We can choose the APs. This AP, which AP need to do this anti-phishing. Then after we choose the AP, first we choose. So here we choose this APs. We choose the AP here. We in the project, for example, in the back, if our client is the back, apart from this APV use, for example, in the original BOM, we said that they need 15 APs for the coverage, and then if you want to have the VIPs, we can use another group, another like 10 APs or 50, around 10 APs to do these VIPs, to do these anti-phishes. So here we chose the APs. We choose the AP here. And after we choose this AP, we can choose the protection mode. Containment, this means it will take the countermeasures. The countermeasures is like, as long as I find you, I will set the deauthentication frame to the terminals or the rogue APs. The connection between the terminal and the rogue AP will disconnect it. And then is the mode. The mode here, you can choose the hybrid mode or the monitor mode. For this project, we recommend to use the monitoring mode. That means we have the specific AP and choose in the monitoring mode. In this detect rogue APs, here you can check that the policy that what kind of AP you can consider it as a rogue AP. So in the network, we can choose that all access point is not activity on these controllers are log. And access point make SSID hidden are log. And also the other SSID, you can specify which kind of SSID is the log. So these are the policies. And also you can enable the detect the ad hoc NACs and also the interference from the neighbor APs. And in the advanced settings here, you can, for the some SSID, for the some SSD, maybe this SSD, you know that you have the one controllers and manage the 10 APs, and then you have another like home use Wi-Fi, like TB links, this kind of home use Wi-Fi. You don't want to be take out counter measures to that AP. You can input that AP's MAC address, we call it the BSSID, or you can input the SSID here. So that will not be countermeasured by our network, by our APs. So in the log security, if this attack happens, you can find that logs in the RF protection. You can find in the security overview, the W security. You can here find out the logs. Okay, here's some nodes. For nodes, it's like for this one is we recommend to use the monitoring mode for the artificial and yeah, during the POC on the project, we use a dedicated AP for the artificial. And also, if we use that AP for the monitoring, but in the monitor we know that there's no SSID, right? There's no SSID be broadcast, but we still need to configure SSID. We chose we have the SSID, we also need to choose that APs during the monitoring. When we have SSID, we choose that AP, we select that AP. Even there's no SSID, we can discover from false, but that is necessary for this AP function to take effect. The first thing is like for the artificials, we some people maybe have the misunderstanding that consider our AP will turn off other APs Wi-Fi signals. And it's not, we cannot turn off other access points. SSID, you cannot turn it off. We only like do the countermeasures. If the user connected that AP, we set them deauthentication frame, then the terminal disconnected from the other APs. So for the user's experience, if they connected the wrong AP, they will keep disconnecting. But sometimes they will connect it. It's not like all the time. It will connect it, and then it be countermeasured and be disconnected. If this our AP use the monitoring mode, it can have the, because it keep do the scanning. So that the users connected to the ROG AP almost cannot use that ROG Wi-Fi. So that is the effect. Now let's see the DHCP securities. For this one, with the DHCP security, the reason we have this one, for example, we have this wireless network. We have this wireless network. In this wireless network, the servers, we know that when we connect to the wireless, usually we get the IP address directly. But what if there is a ROG DHCP server or a trusted DHCP servers? So in that situation, we need to avoid that the users get IP address from these trusted DHCP servers. We can call it the DHCP spoofing or uh, yeah. So for this one, we can enable this DHCP snooping function in our APs. So this configuration is in the for the bridge mode. So you just go into the track security traffic hijacking. Hijack here you choose the DHCP security. In the DHCP security, here you choose the AP and then you specify the DHCP server trusted by specific APs. So here you choose the AP group and then you choose the APs, right? And then you choose the IP address for these APs. The IP address here is the IP address of DHCP server. That's me for those APs only that the DHCP servers DHCP server in this table can give the IP address to the wireless terminals. And also in the tunnel mode, we need to enable the controllers DHCP server controller. We need to enable the controller DHCP. Here we need to input the WLAN IP address and MAC address for this DHCP server. So only the IP address or the MAC address input in here or here can work as DHCP server. So in this way, we can avoid that some illegal DHCP server to have attack in our network. And also we can do this client segregation, like if the client has requirement, the guest either the same SSID, even in the same VLAN, cannot talk to each other. We can client segregation. Here we enable this one. That's mean after we enable this one, only all the users, even they're in the same VLAN, they cannot do the communication to each other. And then it's ARP spoofing. ARP spoofing, how that works. The ARP spoofing is like there's a tanker is the fake ARP, is the spoofing ARP that, like, for example, our gateway's IP address is 192.168.101, and then there's a tanker. The tanker set out this ARP broadcast or ARP request or ARP reply message that show that the IP address of the 192.168.101, the gateway MAC address is his laptop. So that's me. Some wireless user, when they go into the gateway, we will set all the traffic to this laptop, not go to the router or not go to our controller anymore. So this is the ARP spoofing. To avoid this kind of attack in our controllers, we can enable the gateway spoofing provision. Here, we just input the IP address of this gateway and also provide with this MAC address. So it will not be for the wireless users, they will not set their data to a fake gateway. Also, we support the DOS attack prevention. We prevent the DOS attack. For this DOS attack is in the DOS defense. In here, you can configure these three ones. This the three, like the max concurrent client. This is client, lots of the client connected. This threshold. Our controller will have alarm. But it will not block. But it will not blacklist the clients. And the max new connection per second if the one devices have built lots of the TCP connections or other DTP connections, If this is exceed this threshold, it will have alarm, but it will not blacklist the terminal. And also the max small package per second. This means that if these devices, if this phone, the connected Wi-Fi fan set lots of the small package, and in 1 second is exceed this number. This number is configurable. You can change it according to your requirement. So if the exceed, it will be blacklisted. And then the lock on the period, like you can configure the 30 minutes is 1 hour. Also you can configure the bigger value here. And also the wireless flooding attack here, if you detect this kind of the flooding, like they said the package like more than 300 package per second, so we can block this one. We can also give this give alert and blacklist the client. So this is the DOS attack. And also we can configure the scanning prevention. The scanning preventions here for Sundray, we support to detect the ARP scanning, IP address scanning, and port scanning, especially in the enterprise network or some public Wi-Fi. There's the connected Wi-Fi. If we don't enable this one, they will do the scanning our network. They will scan our network. They set a lot of the ARP package. They set the request and also the same IP address to build the IP address, the ping or our IP address, and also the detect, try to build up the connection in the ports. If they do this kind of scanning, and the scanning times is exceed this threshold, it will be blacklisted. Okay, last part is the security big data analysis. First one is east to west traffic. This one is in the traffic security intrusion prevention. We create a policy. We add a new defense. Actually, you can choose this the protected area. In the protected area, you can choose this SSID. You can choose the SSID. For this SSID, you can configure it in the protected area. You configure the protected area. So in the protected area, that's me. All the users in the protected can visit the servers in the outside, but users in other area cannot visit this protected area. So if we configure, if we allow some service, we can in the whitelist. We can add it in the whitelist. So after we configure this one, for example, we configure SSID for the RD department. So for the RD, because their phones, laptops maybe have the more sensitive informations. So for this, to protect these informations, we're not allowed the users from other area to visit their laptop. So this SSID will be in the protected area. So we can monitor the devices in the protected area, and also we can check the risky connections, like what kind of this device, what kind of the traffic going to this protected area. So before this protected area, this east to west traffic is only can be used for wired. Right now is also can be used for the wireless. So we can have this policy for the wireless for the SSID for the users. Okay, this is account security. Account security is it will identify that for this account, like how many months is be used, this inactive account. Usually, from here, if this account is active, you can check if we need to delete this account, right? And also the account login time by the days, account login by the period, and also the account used by the different terminals. So for this one, we can monitor the account. If the some, for example, wireless connections, if there's someone's account be blocked, they do the attack and they be blocked. This also can be shown here. So this is account security. So this monitoring is automatically enabled, right? If you enable all this attack, all this account, all this attack case, then if you do the attack case, they will show that related with this account. Maybe this account be attacked, it be the password be stolen, and then use this account to attack our network. So this also can be shown this here. And then is the device security. For the devices, you can see the devices with APs, like the outline durations. You check the how, yeah, if it's offline, how many days, and also the APs load, online collide, outbound rate, inbound rate, and also the CPUs, memories, idle sessions. So this can help us to monitor the the centers of our APs. So this is the security, this